Map number 1 resides at a bandit camp just up the hill from the 3 standing stones in the foothills of Lake Ilinalta. While it's an easy place to locate, be prepared, as the only way that you will acquire it is from one of their corpses after you have killed them all. Map number 2 lies just off the path heading east from Winterhold. Look for the stone pillars extruding from the snow, and behold, Journeyman's Nook. After the bandit has been executed, search the satchel next to the round table and retrieve the map. Map number 3 lies downriver from Windhelm, and still yet further south from Kynesgrove. Follow the water and discover the Riverside Shack. And while you'll have to face another enemy, this time it's not a bandit. Slay the saber cat or send it running for the hills. Then head inside, use a pick to open the treasure chest, and claim your reward. Map 4. On the tundra west of Whiterun lies Retheran's Retreat. Enter the mine hideout. Slay the poor puppy and the bandits within. Sneaking may prove advantageous here. Then open the large chest in the final room. Treasure map number 5. Finally, a piece of paper that no one needs to die for. At Angie's camp in the mountains south of Falkreath, enter her home, go around back to her room, and open the top drawer to her nightstand. Map 6 is the trickiest on our list so far. High up in the mountains near Mehrunes Dagon's shrine, you will stumble upon a Dunmer laying in his own blood in what appears to be someone else's. Follow the blood trail yet further up the mountain, dealing with any wolves that you may encounter. Eventually, among some extruding stone, you will find who the blood trail belonged to. The map is on her person. Map 7. This time, east down the main road from Windhelm, we eventually come across Trader's Post, a bedraggled shell of a farmhouse with some properly dubbed traders within. Slay them, head to the back left room, and then pick the lock on the chest in the corner. Map 8, a hunter's last stand. If facing Bleak Coast Cave, which sits on the Sea of Ghosts, turn left 90 degrees and head straight to the pack of Horkers that you see in the distance. After passing the ice floes, avenge the Horker hunters. And retrieve the map from one of their bloody bodies. Map 9. Upstream from the abandoned prison, you will come across a shack that has been toppled by a fallen tree. Within the shack, not so lucky Lorens will be found face down at the branches of this monstrous Widowmaker. Leap up into the rubble and search his pockets, and you will find your map. Map 10 is the most difficult to obtain thus far. South of the East March Imperial Camp is a pond and the entrance to the cave. Halfway up the dark cave passage, after handling some bandits, make a hard right and follow the lanterns. A tough Argonian mage will be waiting for you on the left. Once defeated, take the map from his pockets. The Fort Neugrad treasure map. After advancing through a courtyard full of bandits, head through the main doorway, murdering yet more bandits as you go. Take a left and 2 quick rights, which will bring you to the balcony overlooking the main room. Enter the back door, and through the bedroom on the left, you will come to a room with a ladder which leads outside to the tallest tower of the fort. Pick the lock and obtain the map. Velehk Sain's treasure map, by far the most interesting on our list. Enter the College of Winterhold and head left of the entrance to the Hall of Elements. Through the trap door, you will find a long winding dungeon. Navigate through, battling skeletons and spiders along the way. Eventually, you will find a hand centerpiece in a round room. On a table, you will find a journal. Read it, head to where it tells you to go, claim the artifacts mentioned, and return here, placing them on the hand. After being agreeable to the Daedra,
"There's a smart lad. Take the map. The loot's hidden there. It'll show itself when you get near."
the map will appear in your inventory. Deathbrand. The longest of our excursions begins on Solstheim. Just off the boat, head up the stairs to the temple. Immediately head downstairs into the priest's chambers and enter the first door on the right. Read the Deathbrand book on the round table. Once done, your quest will begin. Next, head to Haknir's Shoal at the top right of Solstheim and engage the band of pirates at their camp. Kill the captain and retrieve Deathbrand's treasure map from his body. Our final treasure map is not a map at all, but instead a note. To the far east of the lake which Iverstead sits upon, you will come across an abandoned camp. Sitting on a barrel just in front of the tent is a note. A note which speaks of treasure. Our first treasure. After obtaining map number 1, head to Riverwood. Look across the river. A large fallen tree will sit just off the shoreline. Swim to it, walk up from the shore, and within this hollowed out tree is treasure number 1. Treasure number 2. Follow the road far east from Whiterun. Eventually, you will come across Valtheim Towers, a home to bandits who will charge you a tax for walking on their road. But they can all be avoided. Head down to the river and take a swim. Just after the overpass, on the right side of the river, is our second chest waiting to be claimed. Chest 3, Solitude Lighthouse. Northeast of Solitude, and on the north shoreline of the lighthouse, is our third treasure. Travelers beware, those waters are cold. Pelagia Farm, our starting point for treasure number 4. Facing the windmill, head to the back mountain and jump your way up the trail. Once you have made it into the opening, head right and go as far up as you possibly can. With a beautiful view of Whiterun and hidden within some shrubbery is our next treasure. Old Hurlden Inn is the best starting point, or rather, the path of least resistance, for treasure chest number 5. If you look at the waterfall in the distance behind it, that is where our treasure lies. Simply head down to the river, take a swim, and follow it all the way down to the falls. A bit beneath Bard's Leap summit, and behind the fall, is where we will find the chest. Treasure chest number 6, Corvin Jund. Though luckily, we don't have to enter it. A few bandits lay ahead, so be prepared. But other than that, it's just an easy walk on top of the archway to claim the chest by the tree. See, I told you it was easy. Gallows Rock, in the middle of nowhere, appropriate for a silver hand. South of Windhelm and across the river and up into the mountains from Riverside Shack is an encampment of werewolf hunters. Turn their hands red, and beneath the rock with the noose is our next chest. Treasure number 8 is a short 2-part venture at Dragon's Bridge. First, across the river in the bridge, sitting next to a tree is a satchel with a key. Take this key and head back over the bridge, or rather, halfway over it. Turn right, look down into the water, and take a dive. Sunken beneath the slaughterfish is treasure chest number 8. Chest number 9 is southeast of Riften on the way to the Dawnguard. After killing a few wolves, you'll reach a bridge, and to the right, you'll notice a waterfall. Continue down the road to the first cairn on the right. Follow the mountain up, and take a right to Broken Helm Hollow, where you will be greeted by some bandits. After dealing with them, don't enter the mine, but rather jump down to the first tier of the waterfall. This is where the chest is. Treasure number 10 brings us just south of Ilinalta's Deep. This is where we can find the Lady Stone. If facing the stone, look right and head into the water. Following some rock plates down to the very bottom is where the chest will be found. Fort Neugrad's treasure is not far from where the map was found. There is a lake just behind the fort, and a very rocky path that, if followed from the left to the right, will lead you to a snowy slope and a chest hidden against the mountain. The treasure of Velehk Sain. Easiest to find from Ysgramor's tomb. If you climb to the top of the tomb stairs and look directly across the water, you will see a statue of Talos. Follow the water to the front of the statue and head just beneath it. You won't see anything yet, but get close enough, and as Sain himself told you, the treasure will appear. The treasure Deathbrand. The first piece, which can be found on the little island of which we found the map, is the Deathbrand Helm. The giant chest is just a little ways back from the campfire. On the northwest shore of Solstein, with a ship in the water in the distance, surrounded by mud crabs, is where we find piece number 2. All of these chests require a lockpick, and they are not very easy to get into. Piece 3 is just west around the shore from Raven Rock. Though it appears that you aren't the only one searching for it. Defeat the 2 who dug up the chest, pick the lock, and claim the armor as your own. The final piece to Deathbrand is just beneath Tel Mithrin on the shore. You'll have to battle a few monsters, but after doing so, claim the boots and complete the set. Deathbrand is yours. Our final treasure can be found a literal stone's throw away from where the note was discovered. On the tiny little island down beneath the camp, defeat the 2 bandits, and the final treasure is yours. This has been a Skyrim location guide, maps and treasures. I am Michael of GamerPoets. Thank you for joining me.